Today I want to talk about something that I'm very passionate about, and that's biking, motorbiking, bike racing and everything. I absolutely love it. And what's recently happened is a guy called Robert Bennet, I think his name is, or Paul Bennett or something, in the south of England has been imprisoned for, I think it's 3 months, because he was caught on a speed camera doing 122 miles an hour down the motorway. Now he has been put in prison for doing that speed. I mean, no one was hurt. No, he didn't bother no one. Nothing happened, but they caught him on the speed camera, so he was put in prison. I, for one, think that's fucking retarded. But I've got a little excerpt, I think that's the right word, of a newspaper called MCN, and it's Wednesday the 18th of March, the date on it, and this writer, this columnist sums it up about right. He says, "A few years ago I took my 14-year-old daughter out on the back of my BMW F800. Nothing unusual in that, except she'd always wanted to know what it was like to go 100 miles an hour on a motorcycle. So we went off up a fairly quiet dual carriageway. I opened up the throttle and whizzed it up to 110 miles an hour. I tapped her on the leg, she peered at the speedo and did a thumbs up. And after a ride around, for the fun of it, we went home again. These days, I could go to prison for that. If I'd gone out on a Friday night, got pissed and beaten someone up, I'd get community service order. Or maybe just a warning. I can abuse someone racially, attack a policeman, or burgle my neighbour's house and just get a telling off. I could pull out of a junction and kill a motorcyclist, and as long as I'm not speeding, and I simply say I didn't see him, I might just lose my licence and get a hefty fine, but there's a good chance I'd avoid prison. I could walk along the street with a pair of stilettos and smack the door of every parked car, and a magistrate wouldn't jail me. I could abuse my own daughter and get nothing more than an order to keep away from her. The law is saying that taking her up to 110 miles an hour on a motorcycle is worse than abusing her. That makes sense, doesn't it?" And I mean, forgive my poor reading and everything, but you should understand that, it's fucking stupid, really, that the police are punishing bike riders, because this isn't the first one it's been done to, in all honesty. This guy is getting more publicity because it's a longer sentence. A guy was caught doing 148 miles an hour in about 2002, and he was imprisoned for 14 days. And, really, I see and hear about so many things in society today which are far worse than a guy going along on his motorcycle at that speed, because I'm a firm believer that speed doesn't kill. It's the idiot that's riding or driving the car. I mean, how many times have you seen an indecisive driver? They're going slow, but they're fucking dire. They do shit, they can't drive. And I'm a strong believer in that a lot of accidents could maybe be avoided if there was refresher courses. So every, say, 10 years, after you gain your licence, you have to go for a mini test, not quite as scrutineering as your main test, but to check you're still up to the standards for the road. But instead, for some reason, they just seem to want to punish bikers, when in reality, when a biker has a crash, it's generally just him, if he dies, that dies. It's not a family of people, or except in some cases, I guess, when he hits a car or something, but the majority of crashes, it's the bike rider himself that dies. So if the bike rider is taking that risk, it's his own risk generally. He's not risking the lives of 5 or 6 other people. But that's the thing. My uncle, my dad, even I have been over 120 miles an hour on a motorbike. I've been over that in a fucking car. and anyone with a motorbike powerful enough has been over that speed on it. So, are we all criminals? Should we all go to prison? I'm not so sure. I think I'd rather put in prison the pricks that are fucking abusing kids, or fucking burgling houses, or burgling our cars, or, you know, I don't know, it's just something I feel strongly about. It's stupid. Why someone goes to prison for speeding, I don't know. Just take the licence off them. For me, that would be less than enough. If I lost my licence, I'd die. Bloody hell. But, yeah. I don't know if that made any sense to any of you guys. Feel free to comment. Let me know what you think. Should someone go to prison for doing 110, 120 miles an hour on anything, be it bike or a car? Is it a prisonable offence? I know the law's 70 miles an hour, but, you know, 5 in the morning, say, and a motorway's empty, and you think, I've got to get to this place by this time, bugger it, I'll do 110 miles an hour. Is that really a crime if there's no one on the road? I don't think it is, but whatever. Let me know, guys. Cheers.